When did Chappelle come into your life?
Chappelle came into my life. He came into my life before I even met him. And the reason why I say that, in DC, not too many people leave to go to New York or to LA. That's the hardest thing for a motherfucker to do. They be scared shitless of it. Some people do it and then come back. I'm older than Dave, but Dave is older than me in comedy. So when I first started in DC, I was and again, it's not being cocky, I was on fire. You can ask anybody, I was literally smoking. I was doing it for 6 months. People thought I was doing it for 3 years. I was the name coming out of DC. You know, you leave somewhere, what's the name? You go back for Christmas and all that type of shit. You like, what's the name? And I said, I was like, who is and people used to tell me, yo, you know who getting it? I'm like, who? This young nigga, Dave Chappelle. He a young nigga, right? I'm like, how young? He's like, he's 16 and 17. He getting money, son. I mean, youngin'. That's how you say in DC. He getting money, youngin'. He up there, he doing his thing. He fucking with the white boys, the ages and shit. And I used to say, because I thought I was on fire. And I'm saying to myself, fuck, make this motherfucker so funny. It was no competition or anything, right? And then motherfucker looked at my face and said, he looked at my face and said, well, he's young, right? Like, I'm an old ass motherfucker. There's like, he's young, he's smart, he's animated. And then this is something that a lot of comments have. They said, one of my friends, Mike Watson, he said, and he act all this shit out. You know what I mean? Like, that means if you're doing that, producers and directors already see you as an actor. You know what I'm saying? You got people to tell a joke. But when they said that, you know, it's like, he act all this stuff out. He good at storytelling. He's everything that embodies a DC comic. So I would ask about him. And he shared this story on my birthday 2 years ago. And Chris Spencer said, how did you meet Donnell? He said, and Dave reversed the story. He said, you know, Dave said, I had it popping in New York. I was the man. I used to go home to DC and I used to ask, like, who's popping? And then he said, I would always hear the regular names, blah, blah, blah. They said, but they got this one motherfucker named Donnell Rawlings. And Dave said, he was like, man, fuck that nigga, right? Because our thing is like, we giving props, but we don't want to give props. So when I finally moved to New York, I met Dave because he would come around to the Boston Comedy Club on Black Night, but he would do mainstream. He did all the clubs. And then it was that relationship we had as being two motherfuckers that was thorough from DC that connected us. It was that. It wasn't like hanging out. It was, we met. I think the best way to meet or engage somebody is respecting them. Respect their reputation or what you hear about them. You know what I'm saying? And that was our connection. And this was years before even the birth of Chappelle.
What I saw in those projects early on in the 70s, do you know what memories rehash those memories?
What's that?
The Chappelle Show.
And why so?
I felt that black love again. I felt that humor in your sketches.
Did that resonate through the performance of it, like just the connection?
And I had known Dave since '94. I know Dave since Robin Hood Men in Tights from the Boston Comedy Club.
Yo, Joey, it's so funny you said that, and this is no shade or anything. And this is about when you finally on the right team or you build the right team. Dave Chappelle probably had 11 pilots.
Yes, he did. A lot of people don't know that. His
company, Pilot Boy.
Yes, he did.
11. He was getting shots and shots and shots.
ABC had him and a white dude had a pilot.
Jim Brewer.
No, another one of those big time white dudes.
Yes. I don't know what a big time white dude is.
A good looking white dude like Greg Kinnear.
I'm not sure.
At some point, ask him. I'm talking 98, 97. They kept trying to make Dave a star from early.
Oh, they loved him. He was a golden. He was the one, and for 11 pilots, we're talking about 11 pilots, and he probably wasn't even doing comedy 11 years at the time. His company named Pilot Boy, and it was this little show, and just following up what you said is about the love and how you felt. It was something about this show. It was something about the connection Neil Brennan had with Charlie Murphy. It was something about Charlie Murphy. It was something about me. It was something about Anthony Berry. It was something about all of those motherfucking background people that was on that show. It was something that was love, and it felt like motherfuckers was trying. It wasn't about, I ain't getting paid this and I need top billing because wasn't nobody getting paid shit. The only thing motherfuckers was doing was trying to create the funniest shit you could. And for you to say that, that's how it felt, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when Dave and Neil had reservations about the show, they say, oh, this and that. And I used to predict how the ratings was going to be. I was like, man, this shit about to blow. And it was like, because they've been through it. They dealt with rejection. I don't know that. I'm still like that 3-year nut you talking about, like, haha. I'm like, man, oh, I'm telling y'all, and the reason why I knew it is this is why I knew it was gonna blow. Because I heard niggas in the hood talking about Dave Chappelle. And what I mean by that, Dave Chappelle, when he first started, he came out the gate mainstream. Frat boys loved him, colleges loved him, super smart people love him. But I think in the black community, they didn't get him yet. You know? They didn't get him yet. But it was just something about this show. It was like when it started popping in the barbershops, when it started popping on the block and shit like that, that's when I was like, man, this is something special. You know? This is something special. And I was like, because Dave had every audience. But that really, really street shit, it didn't connect yet. Not that you need that, but it's something about Brian Tucker. It was just something about the team that they put together that understood all of that and connected with every part of it. I think that was one of the things that made that show so dope.
How many seasons?
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, and then and you know, not to take with Dave's, like it's easy writing for a superstar. And Dave was a superstar. Dave's the type of superstar where you can have shitty writers and he's still gonna flip it. You know, so you got that combination, you already ahead of the game, and then you got a team of people to put it together. And that dude was like, you know, we worked together. I remember one particular time we were it was a scene with Patrice O'Neal. He was playing Pitbull. He was one of the original player haters. It was Rich Voss, me, Dave, and Charlie Murphy, and Yoshi, the Asian dude. And we were working on 16 hours. Man, we was tired. I don't ever think I would ever could say I was joked out. I was joked the fuck out. And we had to look at this board of pictures and shit and just roast them. And nobody, we was looking like this. Patrice was back to gas out. Patrice and Dave been roasting each other all day before we were rolling the cameras. We got the cameras rolling. Everybody gassed out of jokes. It was just pause. It was a picture of Rosie O'Donnell. And Dave said, she looks like she wears drawers with dick holes in the back, right? Yo, you see this laugh, Joey? This laugh was like, where the fuck did he get this from? And that was him all the time. And that the same way we talk about being in comedy clubs, when you go hard and let the shit fall where it fall, that's how it was when we were working on the show. You know, he would do something, and then everybody, the creative would go, and then everybody's like, oh, what about this? What about this? And then shit would just pop, 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 pop. But that motherfucker always came through.
What's the one thing you learned from Dave as a comic?
Really being connected to who you are and your true self. And not just on the stage, just in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your true self? And being your true self. And then, like, you know, it's hard to emulate this, but having your calm while you do it. I don't think I have ever even seen Dave raise his voice. You know? And just, I watch him as a performer, and I'll say, like, I say he's like Tom Brady. And when I say that, like, he knows how to lay in the pocket. You know what I mean? He don't scramble like chaotic, like, you know, like me, like I say, I'm like Michael Vickish. I'm saying, fuck that. I'm trying to run that shit down the 2-hole. Every time. I know we got a pass play, but I'm going to run this bitch. I'm going to run it. But he's like, when I say Tom Brady, get in the pocket, the calm is there, wait, and could take a hit at the boom, and he's scoring a touchdown. You know? And like, he's like a David's just a good person, man. You're like a
Very
good person.
good person.
You feel that. I travel with him. People always like, even with me, it's unfortunate sometimes because the work I've done on Chappelle Show easily probably overshadows anything I've ever done. So do I get the credit for being on HBO's The Wire? Do I get the credit for being on The Corner? Do I get the credit of you and I both had that motherfucking gangsta ass cameo Spider-Man shit? You know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of stuff, but that for something about that show is just where everybody connects to that shit.